Good morning and welcome back, YouTube, and God bless everyone who has found this video. In this video, I want to share something with you, and it's concerning the second coming of the Lord Christ. It's written, when Jesus was questioned by the Pharisees as to when the kingdom of God was coming, he answered them and he said, "The kingdom of God is not coming with signs to be observed, nor will they say, 'Look, here it is,' or 'There it is.' For behold, the kingdom of God is in your midst." And he said to the disciples, "The day shall come when you will long to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and you will not see it. And they will say to you, 'Look there, look here.' Do not go away, and do not run after them. For just as the lightning, when it flashes out of one part of the sky, shines to the other part of the sky, so will the Son of Man be in his day. But first he must suffer many things and be rejected by this generation. And just as it had happened in the days of Noah, so it shall be also in the days of the Son of Man." Now we understand this is the end of the age. They were eating, they were drinking, they were marrying, they were being given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. It was the same as it happened in the days of Lot. They were eating, they were drinking, they were buying, they were selling, they were planting, they were building. But on the day that Lot went out from Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. It will be just the same on the day that the Son of Man is revealed. When the Son of Man is revealed. So he's revealed at the end of the age. And Jesus himself said, as he prayed to the Father, "I praise thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that thou did hide these things from the wise and intelligent and did reveal them to babes. Yes, Father, for thus it was well-pleasing in thy sight." Then he says, "All things have been handed over to me by my Father. No one knows the Son except the Father, nor does anyone know the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son wills to reveal him." So we understand that these things are not revealed to everyone, but to those who it is allowed to be. You must be allowed to see and understand these things. So he said, "All things have been handed over to me by my Father." He received his authority from one greater than him. And he told us in John chapter 14, verse 28, that his Father is greater than he is. So, the Son reveals the Father, but only to whom he wishes, or he wills to. And Jesus says in another verse, when he's speaking to Thomas, he said, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me." Again, as he said, he reveals the Father to whom he chooses, or whom he wills. So no one can come to the Father except through the Son. The Son reveals the Father. And in this verse, Jesus says, "No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I will raise him up on the last day." No one can come to me, he said, unless the Father who sent me draws him. And in another verse, when he explained to his disciples that unless they eat his flesh and drink his blood, they have no life in themselves. Now we know that's not literal, but it is a metaphor. He is speaking concerning the scriptures, which he told us testify of him. But in this verse he says, "For this reason I have said to you, that no one can come to me unless it has been granted him from the Father." Unless it has been granted, you must be allowed. Otherwise, you cannot come to the Son. Now, what does this mean? It means the Father calls us. The Father gives us the Son. Through the Son, he reveals the Father. As it's written again, for to us God revealed them through the Spirit, for the Spirit searches all things, even the depths of God. For who among men knows the thoughts of a man except the spirit of the man which is in him? Even so, the thoughts of God no one knows except the Spirit of God. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, that we might know the things freely given to us by God, which things we also speak, not in words taught by human wisdom, but in those taught by the Spirit, combining spiritual thoughts with spiritual words. He said, it is the Spirit who reveals the deep things of God. So if the Spirit is revealing something to you that you've not seen before, it's important that you do not blaspheme, whether in your heart or with your lips. But then he continues and says, a natural man does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness to him, and he cannot understand them because they are spiritually appraised. But he who is spiritual appraises all things, yet he himself is appraised by no man. For who has known the mind of the Lord, that he should instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ, the Son of God. No one has the mind of the Father, but we have the mind of the Son. Through the Son, he reveals the deep things of his Father, our God. But no one can come to him unless it has been granted. As Paul also wrote, that faith is a gift, it is not of ourselves. It has nothing to do with what we desire, what we want or attempt to will. It can't be earned, and it definitely cannot be purchased. It must be granted to us. So what happened with the disciples when they learned that these things must be granted to them? As a result, many of his disciples withdrew, and they were not walking with him anymore. They had realized that it wasn't by their own will or their own choosing or their own doing, but that it had to be granted to them. So they walked away and they didn't follow him anymore. And he said here, it is written in the prophets, and they shall all be taught of God. Everyone who has heard and learned from the Father comes to me. These individuals have not learned their gospel from man. They were not taught it, but they received it. These are prophets, those who have been taught by God. They have heard and learned from the Father. They were called to the Father, to the Son. And again, through the Son, he reveals the deep things of the Father. This must be granted to you. And it's important that if one of these individuals is showing you something that you haven't seen before, it's important that you don't tell them that they're preaching falsehood and that they're lying, manipulating, or twisting the scriptures. Because if they're revealing it to you through the Son, the Spirit, then you blasphemed. And that is unforgivable in this age and in the age to come. For the tongue is a fire, the very world of iniquity. The tongue is set among our members as that which defiles the entire body and sets on fire the course of our life and is set on fire by hell.